Will mortgage rates finally come down? And what does that mean for the housing market? There's a lot of noise out there, but let's break it down with real data, no hype, no speculation. So stay with me because I'm about to show you what might change how you approach home buying in 2025. So housing prices, this is the reality. From January to February this year, home prices increased 1.7%. Compared to last year, home prices are up 3.1%. Despite all the economic turbulence, the stock market, the labor market, home prices are holding strong. So what does that mean? We're still in a market where affordability is a challenge for millions of Americans. And if you're waiting for a major price drop, well, you might be waiting a long time. And I'll tell you just how long in a bit. But first, let's look at the key trend. So what do you notice here? Long term, home prices really only go up. Even if you bought at the peak before the last crash, you still came out ahead over time. So in the next few years, if you hold on, home prices generally recover and increase for what you bought for. So why? Because the real issue isn't home values, it's inflation. The US dollar is losing purchasing power every day. So unless income catches up with inflation, and spoiler alert, it won't, affordability won't improve overnight. So should you buy now or wait? If you're waiting for home prices to crash, should you keep waiting? And here's the truth. The last housing market crash happened because of two things: overbuilding and massive foreclosures. And right now, we're not seeing either. Builders haven't been able to keep up due to high interest rates and material costs. So there's still a housing shortage. And foreclosures, nowhere near crash levels. In fact, we're not even at a 2005 pre-crash level. If a crash were to happen, it would take time, maybe 3 years for it to start, another 5 years for it to bottom out. So that's 8 years to wait for the best possible deal. So ask yourself, do you really want to wait almost a decade hoping for a market bottom? If you're financially ready, find a home that works for you. Negotiating a good deal and buy it. Timing the market is almost impossible. And again, generally home prices go up over time. So waiting, the home values will go up as well, and you're going to get less for your dollar. So I don't recommend waiting. Now, I know people keep asking about Florida and pointing it out. See, home prices are crashing, but let's look at the data. Yes, more sellers have been cutting their listing prices, but actual sale prices, they're still holding. And look at this. Listing price cuts happen every year around December and January. It's just seasonality. So no, Florida is not leading the way into a housing crash. All right, let's talk about what's on everyone's mind: mortgage rates. Between September and January, rates jumped from 6% back to 7%. The big question is, how do we get back to 6% or lower, or are we heading even higher? So here's the key. Mortgage rates follow the 10-year Treasury yield. And yes, the Federal Reserve does have influence over that. So when the Fed raised rates, mortgage rates shot up. When they stopped, rates stopped climbing. Now they're expected to cut rates this year, so rates should trend downward, but it's been a weird market, right? Last time they cut, mortgage rates didn't move because they priced it in ahead of time. So it's not a total tit for tat, but I do expect rates to come down when the Fed at least has a plan to cut rates, right? It's usually an expectation leading into that Fed announcement. But I wouldn't expect rates to hit 3% anytime soon. The Fed is projected to lower its benchmark rate from 4.5% to 4% this year, meaning we might see mortgage rates dip below 6%, but with some fluctuations along the way. This year, the US government has to sell a record amount of debt. So that could slow down rate cuts. While rates are likely to go down, don't expect a free fall or anything drastic. The Federal Reserve updates its projections this Wednesday, March 19th. Most likely, this video is going to come out the week after that. So I will post another video on what they say, and I'll be tracking it closely, keeping you updated on what it means for your home buyers or your investors, or if you are a home buyer investor and looking to buy on your own. So make sure to subscribe for real data-driven insights, no hype, no fear-mongering. If you got value from this, hit that like button. If you have questions about buying, selling, or refinancing in this market, drop a comment below. I am here to help. I'll see you in the next one.